All right, folks, are we on? Are we on? Are they going to stagger me? What is YouTube going to do to me today? Well, it's all right. First and foremost, folks, we got some to unpack. First and foremost, thank you. Thank you. And I don't know. I like showing my niece's picture here. I like showing my niece's picture. Maybe she. All right, let's get down to business here. What do we got here? Ted Cruz exposes everything, and they don't like it. There was a hearing today, yesterday. There was a hearing, I believe yesterday, for the senators, everybody to get together, and let's try to unite. Well, they had 51 Democrat senators. None of them showed up. They're little bitches. They got blown out of the election, and they're little bitches. They don't want to show up to address the border where there's sex trafficking, little girls, fentanyl, terrorists, everything else that's ill to America. There's your senators, folks, that you've been sticking up for. None of them showed up. None of them care. None of them care. CNN is tanked. ABC is tanked. They're all The View, and they're all crying. They're all tanked out. They ran it into the freaking wall, all their shit. And now the senators are up there. They don't show up. There's still work to be done. 0 for 51 senators don't show up. Then there's a reporter on the floor in the lobbies. There's a reporter on the floor in the lobbies, blah, 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 blah. This rainbow bum, Garcia, where's he from? California, Kamala State, those perverts. He comes up, she's doing a report or something. There's no microphones in his face anymore. The senator from California, Garcia. Oh, 2 weeks ago, there was 11 microphones in your face. Now you're walking around the floor there, you can't get a microphone. What's he do? He bum rushes a reporter, a lady, and says, I'm not going to approve the appointees. I'm not going to approve the appointees. And then he runs off. The lady reporter says, well, there you have it, folks. Well, by the way, that's Senator Garcia. By the way, folks, where's he from? He's from California. He's been polluted by Newsom. He's been polluted. He's been part of the Harris-Newsom regime. And now he's crying like a little bitch. He ran off like a little rainbow flame. And I'm not going to approve the appointees. Listen, Cruz, or listen, Garcia. They have the majority. You know how Senate and Congress, you know how that works. Do you just choose to ignore it? You know how it works. You could cry like a little rainbow bitch all you want. It's over. There's no microphones in your face anymore. There's no microphones in your face. You're irrelevant. 2 weeks ago, you had 9 microphones in your face. 2 weeks ago, you were riding your rainbow freaking wave. You were riding that perverted Tim Walz wave. You were riding that Gavin Newsom, Governor of California wave. You were riding the Kamala wave. Well, it's over. It's over. So now your little senator there that was approving all that perverted rainbow transgender shit, America said no. You will lose your seat next election, Garcia. You will lose your next election. It's a no-brainer. You showed your ass. You can't take the pressure. You run up there like a little bitch. We're going to oppose Trump's cabinet appointees. He won the majority of. He's got the majority of all the bodies. He's got the majority. Did you learn that in your political school? Did you learn that from Gavin Newsom? Did you learn that from Kamala? Didn't you learn anything from Biden? There's nothing you can do, bro. Go back to your boyfriend in California and have a pity party. Call Kamala up, call Newsom up, and have your little rainbow party and cry. Okay, just like The View. Just like CNN. Go back to your little rainbow bullshit. America's not buying it anymore. We got people in the Senate like Ted Cruz and other great minds that are defending all Americans, Democrats and Republicans. Well, folks, your Democrat leaders, they betrayed you. And that's why so many Democrat voters switched and voted in a landslide election. So they're not going to be able to win a local city council seat if they keep that garbage up. They're just continually just burying their party into the ground because they had carte blanche for so long. They had the Obamas. They had the Hillary Clintons. They had the billionaire globalists. They had the Bill Gates. They had the George Soros. They had the Bezos. They had all of them. And they thought, this machine is too big to break. Well, it broke and it's over. So get over it, you little rainbow bitches like Garcia from California, so get over it. I'm going to oppose all the appointees. I'm going to, and then he runs off. Call your boyfriend Bruce up and cry to him. America don't want to hear it anymore. You're not going to get reelected in California. It's over. Now let's listen to what Ted Cruz had to say. God bless Ted Cruz for fighting for us. God bless Ted Cruz. Now let me set this up. Ted Cruz, they want to call for a meeting with all the senators and the higher cabinet members and stuff. They want to set up a thing. Okay, the new regime coming in. Let's get this stuff together. Let's try to promote some unity. Let's meet in the middle. And well, guess what? Not one senator out of 51 showed up. Not one. Little woke, fagged out senators that promote queerdom and transgender shit and all perversion. Not one of them showed up. Well, guess what? I could run for their seat. I could run for their seat in the next election and win. And just all I got to do is show this video. All I got to do, I could run. Not one showed up. They're all little crybaby bitches. Oh, did Obama fool you? Did Joe Biden fool you? Did Bill Gates fool you? Did you get fooled? Oh, really, really? We're on the right team. We're on the right team. All the money, all the freaking propaganda media, CNN, all that stuff couldn't save you. Americans came out in waves and voted, and it was a bloodbath. Now they got nothing else to hang their hat on. And what do? Our country still has pending things that are going on, important things that need to be addressed. Forget about when Trump gets in. There's still 2 more months of craziness going on in our country that needs to be addressed. Well, you know how much those Democrat senators cared? Not one out of 51. Not one. Oh, we lost the election. Screw everybody. Little Democrat Garcia running back to California. I'm going to oppose the appointees. Really? Oh, we'll see how that works out. Yeah, they got the majority. Newsflash, they got the majority. Go home, Mr. Garcia. Call your boyfriend up. Call Kamala up. Call Joe Biden up. Call Governor Newsom up. And Ted, you can have a little pity party over there. You could have maybe they'll do a drag performance for you. Maybe you could call up some drag performers and they could do a nice pity party show, okay? Maybe they could do the drag Last Supper scene, Maybe you could reenact the Last Supper scene that you did for the Olympics. Maybe you can do that. Call those actors up and everything. Maybe you could go back to California and put on a drag show, okay? All right, Democrat Senator Garcia. He had to bum rush the microphone. Because nobody put a microphone, none of the reporters or anything put a microphone in his face. He had to bum rush. Go home. It's over. Go home. Try to make little boys girls. Make little girl boys. America, come up. How perverted did they think that? How effed up are their minds, and how perverted and skewed are their minds that they actually thought Americans would go out and vote for this? What's up, Mike? What's up, Bob? So we're going to play by the highly esteemed senator from Texas, Ted Cruz, who happens to be a Republican, but I appreciate his thinking and that he wants to protect America. Let's check it out. This is Ted Cruz breaking it down.
Kansas is not wrong. In the 237 years of our nation's history, I don't know that there has been a more shameful day in the United States Senate than today. What we just witnessed was a travesty. It was a travesty to the United States Constitution, and it was a travesty to the American people. And it's important to understand why the Democrats did what they did. We're here on the Senate floor right now, but I want the record to reflect. I'm going to do a very accurate count of the number of Democrats who are with us.
Okay, hold on. They do a count. They're having a forum. Let's get America together. Now he's going to do a count for who wants to engage in this political vehicle. You're paid to do a job. Okay, he's going to do his count.
That would be zero. Other than the presiding officer, and somebody has to preside. Not a single Democrat senator chose to come to this floor and listen to one word of evidence. When it comes to the Constitution, the Democrats concluded that Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas defying federal law, ignoring the text of the statute, deliberately releasing criminal illegal aliens over and over and over again, that's just hunky-dory. You can't impeach him for that. Every Democrat just voted. By the way, every cabinet member, guess what? You've just been given a blank slate. Ignore the law. When Democrats are in charge of the Senate, the entire cabinet could ignore the law. It is no longer impeachable.
Now that they lost the majority, not one showed up for this hearing. Not one showed up for this hearing. What's up, Christopher? Not one. Little bitches. Oh, they've got blood. They blew the election on a landslide, and now none of them want to come up and do their job that they're paid for. 0 for 51. 0 for 51. And the knucklehead Democrats stood up there and defend them. The people in the streets defend them. They don't know what's going on. I watch the hearings. I watch information. I don't trust anybody. I get knowledge, get information. Don't believe. I question Fox News, but I trust them more than CNN, but they're usually spot on. I don't care if I'm a Democrat or Republican. I'm just an American that's interested in what the hell these elected officials do. And here they showed their ass. Not one senator showed up. Not one senator just even cares about the border and terrorists that are coming in here. Not one. Let's continue on with Cruz.
Democrat wonderland. When a member of the executive branch openly defies the law. By the way, every Democrat just voted that way. They didn't hear one word of argument.
Nope.
The majority leader didn't stand up and say, here's the reason why it's okay. No, he didn't present that argument.
Nope.
They didn't read a brief.
Not one brief.
Nobody wrote a brief. They didn't care enough to know what Senator Lee just laid out, that the Biden Department of Justice went in front of the U.S. Supreme Court and said if the executive defies the law, the answer is impeachment.
Straight up. Break the law.
The willingness of every Democrat to be blatantly hypocritical. Just last year, the Biden Justice Department said, no. You can't sue in court. When we, the Biden administration, defy the law, the answer is impeachment. In like three-card money. Every Senate Democrat said, no. The answer is not impeachment. I don't know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. There's only one answer left, which is everyone who is unhappy about the open border shows up in November and to use the phrase, throw the bums out.
Throw them out.
Because if you're not willing to do your job, is there not one senator on that side of the aisle who cares enough to honor the Constitution? By the way,
there ain't one senator, Democrat senator, listen to this. They were paid to do their job and listen to this. Not one of them. They just show, oh, F it, screw it. Well, we lost the election. We don't care. We don't care. You're not going to get elected your next term because your political opponent the next term, all they got to do is show this and you're already screwed. You might not even need to show this, but whatever Democrats, politicians are clinging to a thread, they're through. They're through. And now the representatives, the senators just come out and said, we don't care. Do your job. Do your job. God bless Ted Cruz. What's up, Cugini?
An article they threw out said lying to Congress is not a high crime or misdemeanor. It's not impeachable.
Lie to Congress.
Now, as the senator from South Carolina pointed out, Bill Clinton was impeached for lying under oath. And you know what happened? He was ultimately acquitted. But after a full trial where they heard the evidence, where the Senate did its job, by the way, one of the impeachment managers was Senator Graham, who presented that evidence right here on this floor. And you know what? Before Bill Clinton, there's a guy named Walter Nixon. You may not know who Walter Nixon is. Walter Nixon was a federal judge who was convicted of perjury. He was from Mississippi. He was convicted of perjury in front of a grand jury. And he was impeached. And it went to the Senate, and the Senate convicted him and removed him from the bench. So you want to know what the precedents were prior to today? You commit a crime, lying under oath, perjury, it is a high crime or misdemeanor that is impeachable. No more. Because understand the Democrats' rule here. This is not about the Constitution. None of them care. By the way, we repeatedly moved. Let's go into debate. Hear the other side of the argument. No. Look, the famous three monkeys, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's just evil, what they did.
Good versus evil.
They don't want to know because they don't care. Because it's not about the Constitution. It's not about the law. It is about political expediency. But every bit as violent as what they did to the Constitution was, it's even more offensive what they did to the American people. Last year, 853 migrants died crossing illegally into this country. That's almost 3 a day. You go down to the southern border. You go down to Texas, which the Democrats don't bother to do because they don't care about the people dying.
Senator Cruz is from Texas, okay? They went to the border with his fellow congressmen and senators. They went to the border. Kamala was the border czar. She was out shopping in England, and she was out rocking and rolling. Kamala was the czar, border czar.
And you see photograph after photograph that Texas farmers and ranchers are finding of dead bodies on their property. Many of my colleagues here have been down there with me, have seen the elderly people the human traffickers have abandoned, have seen the pregnant women the human traffickers have abandoned, have seen the infants and toddlers left to die. The Senate Democrats just told the American people they don't give a damn about the bodies and the people who have died the last 3.5 years, and they don't give a damn about the people that are going to die next week.
You know why? Because the blood is on their hands. The blood is on their hands. Of course not one senator out of 51 is going to show up because they know the blood is on their hands. And how many more freaking terrorist groups are already in our country because of that? They don't care. None of them showed up. The blood is on their hands. And last time I knew, Kamala was the border czar.
Next week, more migrants are going to die. When we brought 19 senators down to the border, we went out on a boat in the Rio Grande. We saw a man floating dead in the water. Senator Lee was there. Senator Kennedy was there. He had died that day. The Democrats just told the American people they don't care. When you go down to the border and you look at the children who've been brutalized, just about all of us here are parents. I will tell you, when you look in the eye of a little girl or a little boy who's been abused by traffickers.
Where's Kamala?
And you see it. You see the pain. You see the agony of children trapped in sex trafficking. The Democrats just said they don't care.
Where's Kamala?
They won't hear the evidence. They don't care that it's deliberate. And they don't care that it'll happen next week, that it'll happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, there will be children brutalized because of the Democrats' open border policies, and not one of them cares. They don't care about the women who are repeatedly sexually assaulted. Again, when you look at the eyes of these women coming over, it's heartbreaking. And the Democrats just said, we don't care. And they don't care about the more than 100,000 Americans that died last year from drug overdoses. The highest in our nation's history. 70% of that is from Chinese fentanyl coming across our southern border. And the Democrats said, we don't want to hear about it. We're not interested in the Americans dying. You know what they also don't care about? They don't care about the criminals that are being released day after day after day. The Biden administration is releasing murderers and rapists and child molesters. And every week we see another story of somebody being killed, somebody being raped, another child being assaulted by illegal immigrants released by Alejandro Mayorkas and Joe Biden. How shocking is it that there wasn't one Democrat who says, massive human suffering matters?
They don't care.
We ought to hear the evidence.
They don't care.
How shocking is it that there wasn't one Democrat? One. There are 51 of them on that side. Not a single one could screw up the courage to say, let's do our job. Let's hear the evidence. How shocking is it that not a Democrat cares about the terrorists who are streaming across our southern border? The nation of Iran has called for jihad against America. Hamas is...
You get the gist. Christopher Walker, Wyatt Earp, Jimbo Slice, Philly Bob, Michael Condinas. I'm going to keep doing these shows even though they're censored. And, Democrat or Republican, aren't we humanitarians that little children, okay, illegal immigrants, okay, that's one thing. They're trying to flee oppressed nations and everything else. We get it and everything. And, but come in the legal way. And there's children. Cruz went with a handful of other senators. Kamala didn't go. Joe Biden didn't go. Kamala was the border czar. Just let whatever they go. When Ted Cruz was in the boat, they came up against a dead body in the river. They just showed you, those 51 senators just showed their constituents that voted for Trump that they don't care. And newsflash, that's the reason why they go. That's the reason why they got slaughtered in the election. Ivan Laura, what's going on? Well, Christopher Walker, someone in here. Thank you. My wife is an immigrant. We did it legally. Well, guess what? America was founded by immigration. Everybody went to Liberty Island, New York City, and they came in. They got documented. They did it the legal way. Everybody, my ancestors were immigrants, but they were legal immigrants. So, Ivan, they were going on the River Grande to just check out the situation because Kamala Harris wouldn't go. They found dead children in the fields, dead children, boys and girls, trying to make a journey over here. And where was Kamala? Where was Joe Biden? They don't care. And now the aftermath is, let's get these things sorted out, which I was just showing you here. Let's get things sorted out. Let's take a breath. Let's get things sorted out. We got a Senate hearing coming right here. And guess what their response is? Not 1 out of 51, which Ted Cruz just communicated very effectively, better than me. And not one showed up. They know that their political careers are over. They're not going to win their seats back from their constituents, and the party's over. That's why little Rainbow Boy got up there and he bum rushed the mic and said, I'm not going to approve the appointees. Little Rainbow Garcia from California. I'm not going to approve them. And he ran off like a little bitch. Well, go back to California, Senator Garcia. Go back and talk to Kamala and Newsom and then have a drag party. Have a little drag party over there and figure out why you lost the election. Okay? So Senator Cruz try to establish in good faith. Let's get things rolling here. Let's try to address some things because there's still a crisis at the border. Even though Trump got elected, there's still a crisis there. They just said no. Not one showed up because they don't care about sex trafficking. They don't care about fentanyl coming in and tearing America apart. They don't care about letting terrorist groups in here and causing problem. They don't care about criminals coming over here and raping innocent women, raping and murdering innocent girls. They don't care. And we've said it all along, they don't care, but they just really showed their ass today because not one showed up. The exclamation point, signed, sealed, delivered. They know their political careers are over and they don't show up. What? In protest because we don't want freaking open borders? What? Yeah. Oh, that new borders are the former head of ICE. Oh, he already came up. We're gonna do it the legal way. We're gonna get you all on out of here. Tom, thank you, Mr. Walker. Tom Hammond is the man for the job. Yeah. The deportation will send you back. Come in the legal way, and you could come in. Welcome to America with open arms. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Tom Homan. Tom Homan. The gig is up. The gig is up. They don't like it. So they had the Senate committee hearing and 0 for 51, not one senator. Little woke fag rainbow bitches don't want to show up and readjust our views, readjust our government, and let's work in tandem together. Let's unite the parties. Let's not try to be bipartisan. Let's just agree on real things. But in protest or whatever their motives were, not one showed up. They must have put out a fag letter that said, "Don't show up. We're still crying over the election. Don't show up." All those Democrat senators that approved all that transgender bullshit and all that woke bullshit and open border bullshit and all that, they don't show up because why? They got crow on their face. They got crow on their face. Go back to the holes you crawled out of, and it's over. They won't be able to win a city council seat when the smoke clears. Yeah. Mr. Walker says they should hire 87,000 immigrant agents instead of IRS agents. That gig is up because Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to cut the pork fat and all that bullshit that they got, all these no-show jobs, all these government agencies that promote bullshit and queerdom and everything from A to Z. They're coming in and bye-bye. Find a new job. All you Democrats that are freaking just getting bullshit paychecks and the taxpayers of America sounded their voice. So Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to come in and they're going to have their eye on eliminating wasteful taxpayers' money that promotes all kinds of craziness. So thank you, Elon Musk and Vivek. Because I trust them. I trust them to say, wait, let's eliminate this. They already said right off the bat they could eliminate $1 trillion in a day. $1 trillion. But what do the Democrats want to do? They want to promote all this bullshit that raises the debt by $7 trillion. And their climate goal, Christopher Walker, cancel all the climate so-called scientists and their grants and all their academic bullshit in these states. And you want to propose and indoctrinize your students from those Democrat universities. Well, holler at your boy. There's no federal grants going to those colleges. You want to do woke, you want to incite riots, you want to do all that shit. Well, the new sheriff says you want to promote craziness instead of teaching your students in college that can't pass 8th grade math and the dumbing down of America. You're dumbing down your students because you think they're going to vote for your Democrat leaders. Well, they didn't. They didn't care. So that's over. That's over. Yeah. You want federal grants? Your students are going to have to perform on their ACT tests. Yeah. You want to start teaching your students so they could have a higher grade than a D? And what do? They give them degrees. They give them degrees. They didn't even have a passing grade because everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy. You don't know what 9 times 9 is? Well, we will give you a master's degree in whatever. You don't know what 2 plus 2 is? We'll give you a bachelor's degree in whatever. Not everybody gets a trophy, folks. I went to college. I studied every day. I was on the dean's list. I opened the books. I studied to achieve when it meant something, that you had to work hard and study to get a dean's list or a 4.0 or all A's in high school. You got to study. You got to open up your books. Well, I had 2 brothers I was in competition with in high school, and they were real smart. So I was just trying to keep up with them. But I wanted to learn. Be prepared for the world. It's a tough, competitive world out there, and you better be on your game when you enter into the real world and apply for jobs and do all this. But other woke little candy-ass queer shit, everybody gets a trophy at the universities that are all Democrat. You don't have to learn anything. Here's your degree. Here's your degree. Well, guess what? Elon Musk, you're not getting any federal aid. So have your contributors. Have your contributors from them colleges that are very wealthy, and they can foot the bill. The government isn't going to give them federal aid to promote bullshit. And if they can't even achieve, I have a friend whose daughter goes to Harvard. He's paying $120,000 a year, $200,000 a year. I talked to her for a half an hour. She wasn't even. I was trying to ask certain questions. 2 years at Harvard, she's not even 8th grade educated. 8th grade educated. She's not even educated on history, social studies, math. She's not educated on anything. She's got a passing grade because you don't need participation. You don't need to be smart. They're just going to pass you along. They got you hypnotized. They got the students, and they're going to vote for those who they tell them to vote for. Well, the gig is up. More government waste, the more they can skim. So the gig is up, folks. It feels like the air is different. Christopher Walker, Trump is assembling an all-star crew. This is the dream team that's going to get America back. The little rainbow boy from California. I'm going to oppose the appointees. Mr. Garcia, the esteemed Democrat from California, he runs up into the picture frame. I'm going to oppose the appointees, and he runs down the hall like a little bitch. They have the majority, Lufrate. They have the majority. Where the fuck are you going with your rainbow bullshit? Nobody wants to hear it. America came out and sounded their voice. And you don't have the majority. You don't have carte blanche to spew all that bullshit on the Senate floor every other day. And Ted Cruz has got, boy, what a guy. I'm surprised he never ran for president. Ted Cruz. Holy cow. So the dream team is coming. America's had enough. Thank you, my esteemed people in here that come in here. Real people. Forget the numbers. You're at the right place right here. And I'm a victim of censorship, but I'm not going to cry because I'm walking on a wave. I'm walking on a wave. You know? You're losing your Congresswoman, Elise. Who is that, Mr. Walker? Who is that? You know we can talk. You know we could talk here. I've been censored, but I won't censor you folks. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was a tight race. They're prolonging the results of Pennsylvania. They don't want to call the race. You know why? Because they already had that put in place in case it was a close election. They don't want to call Pennsylvania. Biden country, Lucifer country. They lost all those counties in Pennsylvania. Ooh, America made their voice, but holy cow. So The senators like Garcia and all the other crybabies, he showed his ass. He showed his supreme ass. Go home, have a drag party, invite Kamala, invite Obama, invite Bill Gates, invite Jeff Bezos, invite George Soros, invite your dream team of psychopaths. Oh, Jimbo Slice, South Philly. They voted for, they were showing that on the map today, Jimbo Slice. They were showing that Bill Helmer on Fox, he shows the maps, and it was like, he didn't even go to some of those counties and all that, and they still won. People know 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. No sleight of hand, nothing up my sleeve. Boom, boom, boom. You have to look out, Fats, if you are trying to invest money in the markets. A lot of the big jump and fails will be happening these next few months. You can see it right now. I was talking to a friend of mine in the financial market. Skinny Joe got out the vote. Joey Merlino, why don't you invite me on your cast? We could have a field day, but let him do his thing. Skinny Joe come out. Yeah, the gig is up. Ex-gangsters got more credibility than these mofos. I'm going to do a video about the mafia and the government and compare and contrast. And I'm going to play Mike Franzese's video. Now, I've got certain views and issues with Mike Franzese, and it's all show on YouTube, and I know he might have, he fibbed here and there. But Mike Franzese, when it comes to politics and what's going on, I salute you. I salute you. Mafia stuff is mafia stuff, and getting subscribers, and that's a hustle, and I understand that. And I cried because he might have been, telling a couple little tales here. But when it came to politics, he spot on. Hats off to Mike Franzese for when it comes to politics and everything. The guy, you ain't getting no curveballs. The mafia dealt with politicians. The mafia dealt with politicians, and then he'll tell you about the history. Mike Franzese will tell you the history about Nancy Pelosi and her dad and everything else that happened. And so the government is worse than the mafia. The mafia did crimes within the 5 families and everything like that, and that was in their inner circle. But when you got scumbags like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and everybody else putting that on hundreds of millions of people, their agendas are affecting hundreds of millions of people, and there's blood everywhere, and there's blood on their hands. But the mafia was within its own circle. There might have been some collateral damage when things happen, and maybe sometimes some innocent people got killed. But for the most part, 99% of the violence and craziness went against other mafioso. These mother grabbers, these Bidens and Harrises and Hillary Clintons and Obamas, they put it on hundreds of millions of Americans. And with the border, little innocent children, they don't care. Little innocent girls going into slavery, sex slavery. Because those globalists, why? Why is that the truth? Because those globalists are pedophile mofos. They're pedophiles. The Illuminati, the Illuminists, the New World Order, and all that. They're pedophiles. They're pedophiles. Who knows where a lot of those little girls went to from the immigrants? They're rounding them up in semi-trucks. Where were they bringing them? Innocent little 7, 9-year-old, 11-year-old girls. Where were they bringing them? They're missing. They just say, oh, they got drowned in the river. They got whatever. They're missing. Where are all those little girls? Bill Gates, and where are all those little girls that disappeared on the border? Yeah, well, why would they have such a stupid agenda to let them in? Because you got globalist pedophiles that want to recruit boys and girls, little boys and girls, and they want to put them up in freaking mansions, in basements that got cages and cells that they recruit, that they sit in, and they have their political parties. These Illuminatis, they have their little parties, and they go down into the dungeons, and they see all these children in slavery, and they have their way with them. Facts. Facts. PBD broke it down. Joe Rogan broke it down. They couldn't depend on CNN and propaganda media to get their bullshit over the plate. America went and watched real people. Real people. Real people. The Democrat strategists, you couldn't get Whoopi Goldberg to get Kamala Harris. And Joy Reid and Anderson Cooper. You couldn't get them to get Kamala elected. All your CNN propaganda bullshit. People went and just made their decisions on neutral people giving information, trustworthy people that wouldn't sell out for politics. Propaganda, done. All the 51 senators that didn't even show up, they're done. This is a realignment of America and everything else. Bob De Niro, he's crying. I want my money back. I want my money back. Why? Because the polls showed that Kamala was ahead. The Democrat Party sucker conned you, Hollywood, George Clooney, all you bums. They conned you with the polls. It's still tight. It's a tight election. The polls say this. The polls say this. Hollywood, we need more money. Hollywood, we need more money. Pump it in, pump it in, pump it in. We need more money. The polls are close. Don't give up now. Oh, yeah. Because the polls showed it was so tight. Okay, now they want their money back. By the way, Kamala, where's that $1 billion you got sitting around somewhere? They want a refund. Sorry, Jimmy Kimmel. Crying like a bitch. I'm crying. Jimmy Kimmel. Nobody watches you, Kimmel. Nobody watches Colbert. Nobody watches Seth Meyer. You're all bums. You're part of a freaking propaganda machine. And your ratings, all their ratings are tanking. So, yeah. Check it out, Ivan Lore. You'll love it. It'll be on there. Just do Jimmy Kimmel cries. Jimmy Kimmel cries. Once upon a time, didn't Jimmy Kimmel have what was called the Man Show? Jimmy Kimmel, before he was on that bullshit talk show host, he had what was called the Man Show. He got up there during his monologue, Ivan and everybody else. He got up, the girls jumping, Ivan remembers. He got up there in his monologue to the studio audience, and he went, they chopped his balls off. They chopped his balls off. He was crying. Howard Stern and all them. Wow. Whoopi Goldberg, we're not going to give up. Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York State. We're not going to give up going after Donald Trump. Well, listen, Letitia James, I hope Obama and Bill Gates left you some money because you're going to be in court now. You want to put 40 freaking felonies against Donald Trump, all unfounded. Jack Smith just left the country. He dismissed or whatever, and he fled. He fled because he don't want to sit in court and have to pay for lawyers that are going to really, So, yeah. So go ahead. Donald Trump's got $100 million sitting around to pay his lawyers and then get acquitted. Do you, Letitia James? You think Obama's going to come to your aid when you start getting indictments, Letitia James? You think Bill Gates is going to come? You're a puppet. You're a puppet. Once you get indicted, they ain't going to stick up for you. Yeah. And wait for the Epstein list to drop, Christopher Walker. Yeah, right away. Yeah. Letitia, get your toothbrush and underwear. Go call Obama and see if he's going to give you a penny, because when they unpack, because guess what? Guess who did it? Guess who did it, folks? Who do you think told Letitia James to run all that shit against Donald Trump? Obama. Obama didn't want Donald Trump to become president. So he calls up his homegirl, Letitia James, New York State Attorney General, and says, do everything you can. This guy is fighting charges while he's trying to run a campaign to get elected for the presidency. So you'll see Obama tethered to that and many other scumbags and the Hillary Clintons and all of them scums that just told their attorney generals, go after Donald Trump. Guess what? Payback is a mofo. And guess what? You ain't got the money. Obama ain't gonna pay your lawyer tab. The globalist billionaires aren't gonna pay your tab, Letitia. They're all screwed. They're all screwed. They're done. They're screwed. Wait till you see what becomes exposed in the next 4 years. J.D. Vance will get elected. So we're going to have 4 years of Trump, 8 years of J.D. Vance. And who's after that? Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah. So the president of the United States, most likely, no brainer, will be a Republican. Because guess what? Trump will get this country back on its feet, and people are going to vote Republican for J.D. Vance, who will be the sitting vice president. So you're going to have 8 years of that. We'll continue to have the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court. So that's all in line. The Democrats really better change up their strategy. Their propaganda media better really change up, because if they continue it, Letitia James is trying to cause trouble. Get out there and riot. We don't accept the election. Get out there and protest. We don't accept it. And bring Antifa and all those paid bums to riot in the streets and everything else. You want to talk about inciting a riot? Oh, they tried to blame it on, and January 7th, that got exposed. They showed the official document and the edited document. Ted Cruz did that too, David BMX. Ted Cruz, January 7th and all the insurrection and all that. Well, they showed the real information. Ted Cruz presented it in the hearing. Here's what Donald Trump said, and here's the manufactured what. You know how bills have a watermark on it? You know that you can identify, like a dollar bill has a watermark, so what's counterfeited and what's not. They had a counterfeited statement up there to cause trouble. Well, guess what? That's treason. That's treason. So all those senators that didn't show up today because they hear footsteps now. Years ago, treason was punishable by death. Treason, traitors, that was punishable by death. They ain't going to do that today. But that's why you got 51 senators that didn't show up today for this hearing. 0 for 51. Because they're all sitting back, like Letitia James, who's just an attorney general. They're all sitting back and they're like, all that lawfare we used, wow, we never expected Trump would get elected because we thought the fix was in. Now they're all sitting back going, geez, I got to remember 7 crimes I did. I got to remember 8 crimes I did. I got to remember all this shit. One day cleansing, a one-day cleansing of America. One day. Yeah. Democrat Mayor Eric Adams says he wants to work with Trump on immigration reform. Well, you know what? We got to just be careful who you want to align with. You can't trust these mofos. Well, Eric Adams, I don't think he needs your help, okay, on immigration reform. We got that ICE Holman. He'll handle it. He'll handle it, Mayor Adams. He'll handle it just fine because he don't play. He don't play. No. Oh, now, well, oh, knock. My name's Mayor Adams. Can I help you with the immigration reform? Well, you better start getting onto the right side of the fence because Eric Adams, he needs to worry about avoiding being deported himself or locked up in a Brooklyn with P. Diddy. Woo! You know how much P. Diddy Listen, P. Diddy videotaped a lot of people. He videotaped a lot of people having sex with, oh boy, allegedly. He he mm, You want to put me in jail? Well, listen, hello, my lawyer. Well, guess what? I got 97 videotapes because I video recorded all the freak offs. I got 97 videotapes of a lot of prominent people in politics rocking and rolling and doing real crazy sexual stuff. And if you want to put me away, district attorney who might have a little stuff on well, then my lawyer is going to come out and expose everybody. So go ahead. You could put P. Diddy in jail and everything else. But how many people he got? He must have thought, I don't know, on purpose or by accident, P. Diddy must have thought somewhere, maybe not, this might all get derailed. But if I go down, some of these politicians are going down too. And Hollywood actors and actresses. Hollywood actors and actresses are going to go down too. Other people in the movie industry, in the music industry, and everybody else doing all kinds of crazy, wild stuff at the freak offs. They're all wondering, they're all sitting back now going, geez, sometimes P. Diddy had the camera right in his hand. P. Diddy had the camera right in his hand. They gambled like that. Wow. Boy, there's a total cleansing come. Thank you, Jesus. There's a total cleansing coming. Wow. Woo, Billy. So at least we get this country back on track. The economy, maybe, a steak will drop some price. Maybe we could eat some steak. Maybe, we could freaking catch our breath and get some sanity back. I've been around a long time. And I've never seen something as crazy and sick and perverted as these last 4 years. Wow. There are a lot of photographs floating around with P. Diddy and some serious heavy hitters, celebrities, politicians, billionaires. I don't think P. Diddy's going to do that much time in prison, folks. I don't think P. Diddy's going to do that much time in prison. I might be wrong. I might be right. But there's probably senators, the same ones that didn't show up today for that committee hearing. There's probably some of those senators that might have been rolling over there because they're interested in kinky, perverted shit with little boys and little girls and putting Vaseline and everything and doing all that stuff. And, that they might be able to connect the dots. You might be able to connect the dots. They don't want to show their ass for nothing. They got bludgeoned in the election. P. Diddy stuff's coming out. They know who they are. They know these scums know that they were at those freak offs. They just thought it was Shangri-La. Yes, my political career. Oh, there's no problem. Oh yeah, I can go do this perverted stuff over here, over at the freak offs. I can do this and that. It's just beginning, folks. It is just beginning that you will see. Ooh. Somewhere they're going to sit P. Diddy down if he survives, if he lives. P. Diddy, if he lives, hopefully he won't commit suicide in his prison cell. Hopefully he doesn't commit suicide in his prison cell. And if he lives, and I don't think he's going to do that much time. Maybe a 3-year federal country club bid, maybe a 5-year federal penitentiary country club bid, because he's got hundreds of tapes. And guess what? What do you think they were looking at? What do you think they were looking for when they invaded his house? What do you think those agents were looking for when they invaded P. Diddy's house? They were looking for those tapes. They were looking for those tapes because those politicians that knew they were on those tapes, listen, send an army of agents over to P. Diddy's house and let's find those tapes. Well, maybe P. Diddy was smart enough to make copies or just don't leave a lot of those tapes there. Maybe he was smart enough of a chess player to say, yeah, if anything ever goes bad, I got Senator this guy, I got politicians this guy doing real crazy things with boys and girls. And ooh, I don't think Pete Diddy's going to get that much time. Digital tapes are everywhere too, Christopher Walker. Thank you for this content, my good people. Thank you. I got the best crowd right here. I'd rather have real than just 10,000 not real. Not real. I like the real 100. And you sit back, you look at things. I've dealt with a lot of gangsters, killers. My godfather, a killer for the Colombos and other families. My godfather, assassin hired killer. I've dealt with that type of fraternity. And what I've watched over the last 30, 40 years of American politics, especially this last 4 years, is insane. They're worse than the gangsters. They're worse than the gangsters. And there were some gangsters that knew who they bribed. They knew who they bribed. And I don't want to get into that. I'm in enough trouble already with this censorship and bullshit. But you know, just think what's the worst that could happen, and that's what happened. That's all. We can leave it at that. Whatever your imagination is to think how corrupted those agencies were, it's easy to see that the DOJ and all the other, it's easy to see what they did. Yeah. Paramount to get a guy killed, 2 attempts. Yeah. They're worse than the mafia. They're worse than the mafia. The mafia wants to kill their rivals, and then these people want to take Donald Trump out. They're worse than the mafia. But guess what? They missed. They missed. And now that you missed, our country's going to get back in order. And now the captain of that Colombo family, he's going to preside. He's going to preside. You missed. My godfather didn't miss. He didn't. Well, he missed one time, but then you can't run. You can't run. When your name comes up and it's over, it's over. Joe Biden, it's over. Kamala, it's over. Newsom, it's over. Senator Garcia, it's over. Go have a rainbow party in California and figure out where you went wrong. CNN, it's over. It's over. Those same mother grabbers that promoted censorship, well, guess what? YouTube, the moderator that's in here right now for YouTube during this video right now, Trump's coming back to you, YouTube, and Elon Musk and everybody else. They're coming back to you and your censorship and my freedom of speech. So you could just turn my subscribers off because I do something about Brittany Griner or some other freaking scum. Yeah. Everybody's going to X where there's freedom of speech, YouTube moderator. Everybody's going to X. All right. They tried to even rig the Google search. The Google search. You couldn't Google a Trump's assassination attempt. Google. They didn't want you to Google the assassination attempt. Google. And then they put it on there. Really? Really? There's a new place called X where you have freedom of speech. And I could get up here and I could say whatever the hell I want. If my followers want to follow me, they'll make their decision. If they don't like my content, they won't follow me. That's the real way things work. But I got the censorship from these moderators at YouTube and Facebook. that little old me, I would have had 50,000 subscribers already right now at the rate I was going. And then they went, whoop, shut him up, shut him up. But some of you Chinese mofos at YouTube, some of you bought and paid Chinese administrators and everything else at YouTube, you will be sitting in court. You'll be sitting in court just like the rest of them, and then you promote censorship. I hope I'm part of a class action suit that you limited my ability to make money on here, and I hope there's $1 trillion lawsuit against YouTube, and I'll be on that list. And they'll figure out how much I could have made on my videos and how much ads I could have generated. Not a lot, but enough. And go ahead and pay, YouTube. Go ahead and pay, because they're coming. They're coming, YouTube. They're coming. Censorship. There's freedom of speech. Didn't you know about the United States Constitution? There's freedom of speech, YouTube. Now maybe you gotta have to pay the piper. You pay the piper. You took me off. You shut my ability to make money on my channel. Little old me. I only had 1,200 subscribers. It's the same number. You guys see my subscribers? It's the same number since 16 months or whatever. It's the same number, my subscribers. Same number. Because my commentary didn't run parallel or alignment to what their freak show that they wanted to do. They let the big channels go. They let the big channels ride, but they didn't want any other smaller channels to rise up. Leave the million subscriber channels alone. Mike Franzese, other Davari Darkins, the LFR family. Leave them up there, but they didn't want any more newcomers coming up like me. Nip that in the bud. So don't let the Truth Serum get one more subscriber. Okay. There might be a class action $1 trillion lawsuit against YouTube. Holler at your boy. Holler at your boy. You know, what are you going to do? Payback's a mofo. Because I can't present a case myself. I can't go and call a lawyer up and say, file a case against YouTube and this and that, corporations and shit like that. But when you get the government to go against them, you can pursue that. You could pursue that. And by the way, Elon Musk is part of the new cabinet. He would like nothing better to do than put YouTube in court. YouTube's his competition. Well, it ain't even really competition. YouTube's got a bad name of censorship. But he runs X, where you have freedom of speech. Wait till they open YouTube's books. You know how the Mafia opens the books? Wait till they open YouTube's books. There's the Truth Serum, censored. There's my channel, censored. They don't put me on the algorithm. I am not even on the menu. You guys come on here because you could see that you hit the a notification or this or that. Other than that, I'm not even on the menu that somebody could just come and see my channel by accident. By accident, I can't get anybody to watch my videos. Well, I hope there's a class action suit against YouTube. And then maybe I can thank you later on. Until then, I'm just going to ride the wave. There's America will get back on its feet, and enough of the craziness. Oh my gosh. Enough is the craziness. You know what? I sacrificed my channel, but my mother told me, single mother of 5 children, said, Jojo, stick up for yourself no matter what. Stick up for yourself and what you believe is right. Whatever happens after, don't matter. Stick up for yourself. And that's what I did. So I don't care. I try to raise my channel up. No bells and whistles, no studios, no nothing, no earphones, all that. I rose up really good. To get 1,200 in the space I got it in was higher than historical thing. At the rate I was on, I would have had at least 30,000 to 50,000 subscribers right now at the exponential rate that I was on. I'm not even on the menu because I mentioned something about that scumbag, Brittany Griner. That scumbag, Brittany Griner. Huh, moderator? Yeah, you want to hear it again, moderator? That scumbag, Brittany Griner. Really? Right, really. She means more than my channel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. The gig is up. You will be sitting in front of the Senate hearings. YouTube, you will be up there, just like the rest of the people. So go ahead, put me on the. I'm not even on the caboose. I don't even qualify to be the caboose. The algorithm. There ain't no algorithm for me. Whoever comes in from the notifications, that's it. I'm not on the menu. People that scroll on YouTube, I'm not on there. I'm not on there. If you, I might be on there if you already are notification bell and all that. Other than that, I'm not. I don't exist. I don't exist. I don't exist. But that's what happens in life. That's what happens in life and everything else. I mean, that's all right. They kicked Donald Trump off of YouTube. Okay. So who am I? They kicked Donald Trump off of YouTube. Who am I? Who am I? All right. Trump is starting a digital police force. Yeah, they're going to have to start answering a lot of questions. You want to bring Donald Trump into court with all these phony things in that? Well, guess what? Line up Facebook, line up Google, line up YouTube, line up and talk to Democrat majority or the Democrat majority is over. Line up and sit in front of the Republican, the majority Republicans, YouTube. What are you going to tell them? YouTube. When Ted Cruz is going up and down your asses, when Ted Cruz is going up and down you officials at YouTube, what are you going to say then? What are you going to say then when Ted Cruz is just running all over you? God bless Ted Cruz. What are you going to say then? Huh? Oh, I don't know. Why? Because there was some political influence. There was some political influence that's directly related to your censorship. Political influence. We already know who they are. So that's it, folks. That's it. Stay strong. I'm going to still do my videos. I like hanging out with you guys. And I'm going to do a video with Michael that I'm going to show a good video that it's an older one. It's an older one. But I like the way Mike Franzese breaks it down. Forget about the mafia. I talk shit and things like that. But America is more important than whatever happened in the mafia. Okay, America. Thank you, Christopher Walker. I'll keep fighting. I'll keep fighting. It's worth it to hang out with you guys. I can't cry boo hoo. It's frustrating. I put a lot of work in, but that's all right. I've been down harder, baby. I was on life support in a coma for a year. I've been down harder. So gonna be pretty interesting. Gonna be pretty interesting to see what happens here. So we'll keep plugging away. And I'm gonna show I gotta do it the old-fashioned way, and I'll have Mike Francese's voice. You could hear what he's saying, okay? I got it on tape. You're gonna hear what Mike Francese and what he breaks down, and he breaks it down. You know, I disagreed with some of the little cutie pie moves Mike was trying to play with his channel and acting like what he represented as far as Captain Boss and all that. Okay, that's one thing. That's Mafia. That's YouTube, whatever. He gained his subs. Okay, that's a hustle. He did his hustle. Okay, he did his hustle. Okay. But he's spot on politically. politically. We were around. I seen government officials at the club. He knows. We seen the politicians around the gangsters. We seen it. He breaks it down. He breaks it down. And they are worse than the mafia. Yeah. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi is worse than the mafia. Chuck Schumer is worse than the mafia. Joe Biden is worse than the mafia. Kamala Harris is worse than the mafia. Tampon Tim Wells is worse than the mafia. Rainbow Boy Garcia from California, worse than the mafia. So we're going to play that. And, oh, you watch him, Christopher Wall? Not buying. I'm not a rat. Well, of course I got a position on rats and everything else. And if I'm doing a mafia commentary, I've done a million videos showing what's up with that, because I'm still alive and I was around them. I'm still alive. I was around them. So he might have tried to fib here and there. And yeah, he's doing the hustle game. And I don't appreciate it, because there's people sitting in prison that didn't rat. And, so of course I got a very stern position on that. So does that mean that I don't appreciate that he's got 1 million, 2 million subscribers that he's telling? Well, I'm glad Mike Franzese, because social media played a big part in this election. Not CNN, not ABC. Social media played a big part in this election. And Mike Franzese did his part to speak eloquently and expose those evil Democrats. And he was part of the winning team. And he did that very well. So I appreciate what Mike Franzese did to educate his subscribers and, educate them and let them know what's up. Well, I mean, we could ride, the mafia, why they do this, why they do that. Yeah, it's crazy. But step aside from that, and he contributed with millions of people, and he speaks eloquently, and he's got facts about politics from ground zero and up. He's just not sitting back and analyze it. He's been around politicians his whole life from New York. So I appreciate what he did there to get Donald Trump home and get some of those votes. Because guess where Mike lives? In California, scum state, California. Guess where Mike Franzese lives? In California. You think he's happy with that Senator Rainbow that just ran out of the House? Kamala and Newsom. You think he's happy with those bums? You think he's happy with Nancy Pelosi? I'm going to play the tape. It's an old tape. And he really gives you the goods on Nancy Pelosi. And who was Nancy Pelosi's father? So I got nothing bad to say about Mike Franzese and whatever, because his educating the people is more important to me than old mob history. Old mob history, if he wants to, whatever he said, or, lies or truth, I don't care. I mean, you know what I mean, folks. I care about the people that are, but as far as our country, there's 300 million, there's hundreds of millions of people in our country. The mafia and all that, well, it's a fraternity. So whatever he has to say about the fraternity is one thing. Whatever he has to say that where there's 300 million people at stake, well, I respect that. I respect that. That's he got a good, a lot of viewers, a lot of subscribers that went and said, wow, I didn't know that. Geez, Biden did that. Harris did that. Newsom did that. Pelosi did that. Schumer did that. He was educating people. So I respect that. I respect knowledge. I respect the truth. The truth serum. Yeah. I got censored because of the truth. So we're going to get that on there. Shout out to John A. Light. Shout out to John A. Light. And he's trying to do good things for the youths. I don't know if he's still in the mix on media or whatever thing, but he's out there trying to help the youths out and get on track. So at least, I mean, the gangsters are gangsters, but they try to do good in the community. Okay, Joey Merlino, try to do good in the community. Joey Merlino, try to do good with the giveaway and all that stuff. You know, gangsters are gangsters, but some are humanitarians too. What a novel concept. And then you see the political gangsters. Woo! They want to cripple a whole country. It ain't like the mafia trying to get rid of the Gambino family. These politicians want to take the whole country out. You know, let's go take the Lucchese family down. Okay, how many members do they have? These politicians are worse. They want to take a whole country down and sacrifice little boys and girls to violence. Wow. Then they wonder why there was a landslide election. Then they wonder. The View was up there. What happened? What happened? What happened? CNN's up there. What happened? I don't know. She said it. I don't know. He said it. I don't know. What happened? I don't know. She said it. They look like fucking retards. What happened? What do you think happened with all your propaganda bullshit when the people really know what's going on? Wow. Kamala Harris's political strategists, they don't want to give, they don't want to have an inquisition about all the money they got, all the people that donated. They want a refund. Wow. Bitch nation, woke nation, perverted rainbow nation. It's over. It's over. We did our 4 years of that bullshit. It's over. Okay, Anderson Cooper and Scarborough and all you other scums, it's over. You're not gonna get new contracts for 40 million and 10 million and 8 million. You think CNN is gonna give you the same contract you had before? You don't even count anymore. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Thank you. They don't even count. They better be lucky they could get $100,000 new contract, but they're going to get eliminated. Put some good looking people out there, not freaking evil looking. Their whole panel on CNN, they all just look like evil, miserable. There ain't one thing. You turn to Fox, they got beautiful, smart, educated people spitting facts. Even the guys, I mean, geez, Waters, Hannity, Pete Hegseth just got appointed to the cabinet. They got real people, a true representation of America. CNN is a freak show. And I don't know, they better change up their shit real quick because they think they have a loss, financial loss now. They're in the red now. Keep it up, CNN. You're not relevant. You hadn't provided one actual news item instead of hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. 99% of the ads that went on TV were anti-Trump, and he still won. They spent $1 trillion negative ads. It didn't help them. Doesn't that tell them that they're not even relevant? Trump had free ads. Joe Rogan, PBD, he had free ads, not bought and paid for, because those people are pretty firm and stern in their beliefs, and they can't be bought and paid for. And Trump took over all the big social media channels and did interviews with them for free. So Bill Gates and Obama and Soros, you threw all that money out. It didn't help you. at all. And it was a landslide on top of it. They had control of everything for their advantage. And they're going, what happened? What happened? I don't know. I don't know. Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know what happened. Joe Scarborough, what happened? I don't know. Anderson Cooper, I don't know what happened. Jake Tapper, I don't know what happened. Well, you don't know what happened? You're part of the poison. Propaganda media, you're part of the poison. We'll see what they do later. We'll see. Thank you, Christopher Walker. Thank you, Wyatt Earp, Cousine, Jimbo Slice, Mike Candinas. Thank you, folks, for helping me out. And at least I know I have some kind of audience here. Thank you, Ivan Lore. And everybody that happenstance upon this video, I appreciate it. David BMX, he's been in my car a long time, David BMX. Been here a long time. God bless all you folks and your family. Let's rise up. Let's prosper. And let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy life, okay? Life is short. Life is precious. Boy, it's precious. So, Philly Bob. So thank you, folks. I really appreciate your support from real people. That means more to me than 10,000 subscribers. That means more to me than that. Real means more to me. All right, folks. God bless. Let the universe bless you. And let's enrich on our lives, okay? There's a link in the description to my book, and there's a Cash App there. But I know everybody's strapped, but I got to put it out there. Don't let the soup fool you. It's tough times over here, okay? So thank you, and let the world and the universe bless you. Thank you.